Astronomy, Lesson 1, Great Minds and Great Gadgets, Nature of Science and Space Technology. Before we begin, key terms. Geocentric describes the idea that the Earth is the center of the universe. The picture below is a diagram of this idea. Heliocentric describes the idea that the Sun is the center of the solar system. Below is a diagram showing that idea. Rocket, a vehicle or device propelled by one or more engines, usually designed to travel in space. Celestial body, natural objects in the universe, stars, planets, satellites, comets, asteroids, meteors. Satellite, a celestial body or object that orbits a planet. Below, you will see the moon orbiting around Earth. The moon would be a satellite. In the picture to the right, you see a man-made object in space orbiting a planet, and that would also be a satellite. Link. What are you curious about? Have you ever thought about what those bright shining specks of light are in the sky? Chances are you already know what they are. Those specks were not always known to be stars and planets. At one time, people thought they were jewels in a god's coat or eyes looking at the earth. Because of great thinkers like Aristotle and Ptolemy, scientific opinions about space were formed and documented. And now, because of technology, not only do we know much about space, but we are able to ask many more questions. It is the nature of science when answers to one question leads to other questions. In this lesson, you will read about 4 great thinkers and their contributions to astronomy, the study of space. Then you will begin to look at machines and technologies that have allowed us to answer the many questions we have about our solar system, the universe, and beyond. Questions. Record your responses in your science notebook. Number 1. How did men from thousands of years ago have such important roles in our understanding of the universe? Number 2. What technological advances have been made in the past 100 years to increase our understanding of the solar system and universe? Number 3. Compare and contrast geocentric and heliocentric. You can pause the video now to answer these questions. Our first activity is called Great Minds. You're going to use the Great Thinkers information cards, scissors, and glue. Step 1. Cut out each of the cards so you have a set of 4 Great Thinkers cards. Step 2. Read and discuss each of the cards with your group. Decide which of these men came first, second, third, then last. Step 3. Place, but do not glue the cards on the chart below. Explain how your group decided on what order to place the cards. Record your information in this chart. Once you have finished with your group, you can move on to the reflection. Use what you've learned to explain how these great minds were alike and different. Activity 2. Background information. Since the time of Aristotle, Ptolemy, Copernicus, and Galileo, our understanding of the solar system has evolved to what it is today. This understanding will no doubt continue to change as new technologies continue to be developed. The fact that scientific knowledge continually changes illustrates the nature of science. Scientists believe the natural world is understandable through careful and systematic study. Scientific knowledge is durable and based on previous knowledge. Scientific ideas are subject to change, and that the testing and improving of theories and explanations go on all the time. To guide them in their study, scientists apply the methods of scientific inquiry. They begin with a question and then design ways to test their ideas. They gather evidence and formulate an answer to the original question. Finally, they communicate the investigative process and results to others. For activity 2, we're going to do some research. Follow the directions below. I've included some pictures to help you as you navigate on the internet. Step 1. Go to www.fcps.edu. Step 2. Click on Students. Step 3. Find Get Help with Homework. Step 4. Click on Library Online Databases. If you look to the picture to the right, you will find it under Get Help with Homework. Step 5. Under Subjects, click on Science. Step 6. Click on Exploring Earth and Space Science. You'll see a picture below of what that looks like. Step 7. A new window will open asking for a username and password. The username is Fairfax. The password is also Fairfax. Step 8. Search for astronomy and choose the second result. Instructions. You are going to make a timeline booklet. Use the following graphic organizer in your science notebook to take notes. You need to put date, scientist, description of event. You can draw lines between each of those to make 3 columns. Some dates will not be exact. That's okay. Just record what the article says. When you finish taking notes, you will put each event on a note card to make a small timeline booklet. Once you have finished with your booklet, work on the journal entry. Explain the nature of science in your own words. Give an example of the nature of science that you have personally encountered. Write 1 to 2 paragraphs in the space provided below, or just in your science notebook. Review your understanding of the nature of science by going back to the background information in Part 1, Great Minds.